everyone. Welcome to yoga. This is our yoga for longevity, health, and joy. I'm so happy to be here with you. Welcome or welcome back, as the case may be. So please take a comfortable seat. Get your glute muscles back away from your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Please close your eyes. And until further notice, please celebrate everything. Draw your awareness to things you have to celebrate in your life. Breathe into them. Relax your jaw, relax your forehead. Please bring your lips together and continue breathing slowly and deeply through your nostrils. As you think of things little and significant to celebrate. A few more slow, deep breaths. Our breath is our most powerful healing modality. I like to begin with connecting to that life force within us. Take a deeper inhale up through your spinal column. Exhale, relax your shoulders down. Open your eyes and open your arms. Stretch them out. And take them back. And feel your hips anchoring down. Lift up through your spine. Hook your thumbs together. And today we are going to focus on our hips, our hamstrings, and our quadriceps. Good for anyone who sits, stands, or walks. I think that's just about all of us. Exhale your arms down. And then inhale back up again. And we can celebrate that, right? Hook your thumbs the other way and stretch really tall. And then you can shimmy side to side so you can get a little bit more space. When you bend to one side, notice what's happening in your hip inside your body, and then the other lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you pec your hip down. Stretch straight up. Exhale your arms down. Good. Take your hands back, thumbs down, and please interlace your hands behind your back and really open your chest, open your heart to more things to celebrate. And when we're in that mood of positivity, more positive things come into our lives. Stretch your arms out and thumbs down. And hold your hands behind your back the opposite way. And again, curl your shoulders back, tone your belly muscles, shoulders back, and lengthen through your spine. Excellent. And release your hands. Okay, so now go ahead and lean back and cross your legs the other way. Get your sit bones back again. Get them back and out. Yeah. And then lengthen through your spine. If you have a block handy, you can take a block in your hand and put your fingertips down on your block in front of you, or your fingertips down on the earth, and then keep your hips back and slowly lengthen your spine straight out. Yep, straight out. Breathe. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, tack both of those hips back. Slowly tack your hips down and bring yourself back upright, and then turn out over one knee. Lengthen, and then hinge at your hips and stretch out over that knee. Put your fingertips down on something, the floor or your block. And as you stretch your torso in one direction, you'll notice that opposite hip comes up, says, I'm coming. But you want to tack it back to get that nice stretch. We want to keep our hips nice and mobile and flexible. Slowly come up so we continue to do lots of walking and hiking and yoga. Go out over to the other side, stretch out the other way. You can compare sides. Good. Slide your arms back, and you can set your block aside. And then lean back, take your legs out in front of you, and come off of your blanket or your towel if you were sitting on one. Put your hands right behind you with your fingertips facing your feet. Draw your shoulders back, lift your heart up. Press down through your front of your foot and the back of your foot, and then bottoms up. This is our yoga happy hour. Bottoms up, press to your feet, lift your hips way up, up, up. Tuck your chin in. You can lower it as long as you do it with control. Lower it somewhat. And slowly set your butt back down. And wrap up your shins with your arms and give yourself a hug. Round your back here. Round your back. Take your navel to your spine. Inhale, lift your heart up, shoulders back. And then round again. And come back up. Hands down behind you again. Please press firmly through the mounds of your fingers and your metatarsals where your fingers meet your hands. Really press there. Draw your shoulders back. And again, bottoms up. Purvottanasana is the name of this pose. You can take an option if you'd like. Press through your left foot, stretch your right leg straight out. You can take another option, draw your knee into your chest, and then press your foot up, 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 and lower it down. Same thing on the left side, optionally. Stretch your left leg up. You can always take a rest if you need to. Knee in, foot up, and then hips back up. They sink right back down when you make a move. Press to your feet and your arms, lift your hips up, lift your foot up. Bend your knee, set your foot down, set your booty down, and give yourself another hug. Round your back. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round, round, round. And then arch again, draw your shoulders back. And then take your legs straight. One more time on your hands, and I'll give you some hand exercises to release it. Really press down, lift up your wrists. Please draw your shoulders back. This is the same pose, a different variation. Squeeze your legs together. Press your heels down, shoulders back, bottoms up. Yep, same pose, different variation. Maybe you like the other variation. You can go back to that. You'll notice your hips tend to sink down if you're not paying attention. Lift them back up, shoulders back, chin in. You're in control of your head. It's just not flopping back. Excellent. Set your hips down. And then fingertips down, lengthen your spine. Stretch out over your legs. Get a hold of whatever you can hold on to here. With two straight legs, you feel your hamstrings. Press the tops of your quadriceps to the hamstrings. Tops of your thighs to the bottoms of the thighs as you lengthen here. I'm going to check and see. Are your toes spread? Are those toes spread? Good. And then come on up. Good job. And then come on over. Roll over to your hands and knees, please. Oh, wait. Have a seat. Have a seat on your block. I said I was going to give you some hand stretches. Yep. Hand stretches. These are really good. We're in our hands a lot in yoga, which is wonderful. So after we're on our hands in handstands or arm balances or the pose we just did, Parsvottanasana, here's one to do. Go like this, like you're giving me a high five. And then squeeze your wrist lovingly way up by your hand and give a little tug down. Squeezing the muscles and tendons. Make a fist and take your fist away. Take the fist away. And slowly release. And then with the other hand, spread your fingers, lovingly grip your wrist, and then squeeze and pull down, and then make a fist and take your fist away. This is a nice wrist stretch after you've been on the computer a while too, to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. Squeeze, the muscles love to be squeezed to the bones. And release. Okay. Come to your hands and knees, please. Come to your hands and knees, quadruped. And I know a lot of you like this pose. It's a good hip opener, good back stretch. Take your knees wide apart. Touch your big toes together and press your hips way back. Stretch your arms way out. Come up on your fingertips. Push your hips back as you lengthen through your spine. Have your elbows lifted up, have your arms up. And then while you're here, straight out center, just shift your hips slightly to one side, then the other. Left to right. And then place your hands down, come to all fours, bring your knees back parallel, tuck your toes, and knees up, hips up, stretch yourself out, down dog. Now, we're not going to walk the dog just yet. So I want you to get your weight way back in your legs, way back. Look at your hands, make sure they're spread, and you're pressing the front of the mat away. Take your inner thighs up and back. Take your outer hips up and back. Lift up your kneecaps. Feel the opening of the backs of your legs. Set your knees down. We're going to take a twisted child's pose. Knees apart, big toes touch. Stretch out over to the side. Lengthen. Stay up on your fingertips here. This be a real active pose. Tack the opposite hip back. Use your breath to get more space, more freedom in the pose. Come over through center to your other side. And notice how you can push your fingertips in to get your hips back. And then once they're back, you can walk your fingertips out maybe a half of an inch further and do the same thing. Get a deeper stretch. Come through center and stretch yourself out evenly. And back up to all fours. Hands and knees parallel, tuck your toes. Up and back, down dog. So what's the joke? The one yoga pose a pirate doesn't like? We're going to do that pose because we're not pirates. Plank pose. Inhale yourself to the top of a push-up. Lift your inner thighs up. Squeeze your quadricep muscles. Yeah, shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Stretch out through your heels. Yeah, we keep doing this. We get stronger and stronger. Up and back, downward facing dog. Weight back into your thighs and hips and legs. Bend your knees and walk yourself part way up. Walk your hands part way back. We're going to take a nice long forward fold. You can put your block right in front of your feet, maybe 6 inches. Please have your feet hip width distance or a little wider than hip width distance apart. Lift up your kneecaps and scoop your tailbone down towards your heels. And if your hands can easily touch the earth, you can put your hands on the earth or use the block, whichever you prefer. Push your hands down into whatever you're touching. And enjoy your breath here. Knees can be slightly bent to open up the backs of your legs, little by little. It's important to lift up and engage the front of the legs, the quadriceps, while we're stretching the backs of the legs. It's also extremely celebratory when you connect your breath and realize the power of your breath to help you feel better. And always Lift up your kneecaps again. Scoop your tailbone down towards your heels. Hands to your hips, shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, come up. Very, very good. And then you can set your block to one side of your, on the long way of your mat. Take a wide stance here. Turn your left foot out. And you want to have the block so it's underneath your calf, right alongside your calf, high, medium, or low. I'm going for the medium. Turn your back toes to face the front, the left toes. And now as soon as you take the stance, your hips go like, they head out over to the left. Tack your right thigh back. Tack it back. Open your hips as much as you can to the long side of your mat. And then stretch your arms out. Hinge at your hips. Place your fingertips down on the block. Reach your top arm up. Your fingertips want to face your toe tips, like in a peace sign. If you don't have a block, just hold on to your ankle, but pull up. Pull up on your ankle. If you got a block, you push down into the block. And have a dynamic action here. Scoop your left sit bone under and push it down through your foot. Take your inner right thigh back. Turn the underside of your belly up. Another breath. Bring your top hand to your hip. Firm your legs, firm your belly. Inhale, come up. You can bring your block with you. And then, good job. Spin on both heels to go the exact opposite. And set your block down. Our blocks are yoga party blocks. Okay. Lift up your kneecaps. See if you can take your left hip back. Should feel really good. This pose, triangle, Trikonasana. And once your legs feel really, really strong, really pushing down, then lift up, open your arms. And hinge at your hips again. Push your fingertips down into the block, right alongside your calf there. Reach your top arm up. If you catch yourself holding your breath, please slowly breathe again. If you catch yourself panting, slow it down again. Rest through your legs. Take your top hand to your hip and pick up your block. Come on up. And then we'll go to the other side. I remember when I first started going to yoga classes, this pose was like, it's a lot going on. So be gentle with yourself if it seems a little challenging. It's good for our brains. It's good for us to be a little challenging. Okay. Open your hips up wide. We're going to do the same thing again on each side. Exact same thing. So you can discover what you're feeling, what's happening in your body. Lengthen through your torso, root through your legs, and then hinge and strike a pose. Scoop your left sit bone under. Take your right thigh back. Turn the underside of your belly up. Couple more breaths here. Excellent. Root through your legs, firm your belly, come on up. Take your block with you. And then we'll do it again. Flexible body, flexible mind. Set your fingertips down. There, your block down. Okay. Open your hips wide. Open your arms. Tone your belly. And then hinge. And do those things. Do you remember them? Scoop your front leg under, push through it, your front sit bone under, and then take your inner left thigh back. Squeeze your kneecaps. 2 straight legs here. When I first started doing this, my front leg did not go straight. Roots of your legs, come on up and lower your arms. So many times I'd be in the yoga class and my teacher would come along and just tap my knee because my knee wasn't straight. Okay, come on, feet parallel. You can heel toe your feet back together. And then we'll set the block aside. Hands in front of your heart. Bend your knees and we will do a yoga jack. Turn your left foot out. And turn your right toes to face your left toes a little bit. That helps open the hip. And bend your knee, left knee over your left ankle. Again, see if you can open your hips wide as you scoop your tailbone down to the earth. Peaceful warrior 2. Soften your gaze right out over your front hand. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh and stretch your top arm out over your ear. And again, it's a similar action. Scoop your left sit bone under and root down through your left foot. Take your inner right thigh up and back. See, that's how we open our hips side to side. Root through your legs, firm your belly, come on up, and we'll go to the other side. Take your time to get yourself organized and stabilized. You have your knee right over your ankle. Open your hips, take that left thigh back. Tone that belly. Open your chest and your arms. Take a moment here, feel grounded in your legs as you lift through your chest. Forearm on your thigh, and then stretch out through your left arm, through your left fingers, all the way through your left foot. Press your left foot down. Inhale, come on up. And spin that foot around. And then hands in front of your heart and jump your feet together. Okay, now we're going to do a standing stretch for the quadriceps. So take your right leg back. Yeah, there's different stages to this, so you do what feels appropriate for you. Stretch your left arm up, your right leg's back. Pick up your toes, your right toes, take your right thigh back, back, back. And then maybe you can reach back and pick up your foot. Steady your gaze, steady your breath. Just explore what's possible. I was hiking with my friend the other day and she said, I stopped eating sugar and now I can do this pose. Amazing how our diet affects our ability to bend and move. Slowly lower that down. I think it's true. The healthier we eat, more bendable we are. Stand steady on your right leg. Take your left toes back, left leg back. Reach up through the torso and through your right arm. Pick up your left foot and see if you can get a hold of it with your left hand. Enjoy your breath. And slowly lower down. So an interesting thing about this pose, if you're picking up your foot behind you and you pick up your foot like this, you feel it in your hamstrings, right? Go ahead and do that. Pick up your foot, take your thigh back, and you feel your hamstrings activating, almost like they're going to cramp, right? Then you get a hold of your foot. For those of you who can, get a hold of your foot. And the connective chain moves the stretch to the quadriceps. Very interesting. So go ahead and set that foot down. Just so you know, if you're not reaching your foot, that's what's happening. So you can move it up and down. Okay, we're going to do that again. So take your left foot back, left leg back, pick it up, reach up with your right arm, and reach back if you can and get your foot. Please keep your thighs parallel. Press your hand into your foot into your hand. And then lean your heart forward and melt it softly to the earth as you kick your left foot higher to the sky. And slowly release. Okay, got one more side. Celebrate having two legs. Right leg back. Left arm up. Torso up. Bend and reach for your foot. Take your time here. No hurry. You want to have your right thigh behind your left thigh, though, for your quadricep stretch. And then reach your heart forward, melt your heart as you lift your inner right thigh up. And come on up. Set your foot down and then loosen up, do some hip circles. And we'll go the other way. And stand parallel with your feet hip width distance. Squeeze your left kneecap, pick up your right foot. Hold on to the underside of your right thigh. Interlace your fingers, press your thigh down into your hamstrings. Yep. And then stretch your foot straight out in front of you. Draw your shoulders back. And we'll slowly set that foot down. Let's see what happens on the other side. Take your time. Root through that whole right leg. Squeeze your right kneecap. Slowly pick it up. Activate your toes. It's so much easier. Spread your left toes. That's it. Shoulders back, heart up. And then see if you can stretch that leg out. And set it down. One more balancing pose like this. Let's give you another go at. And you're always feel free to hold on to something. Lift up your left kneecap. Press through your left leg. Reach up through your torso. And then again, pick up your right leg. Press your thigh into your hands. Draw your shoulders back. Spread your toes. And then if you'd like, go ahead, straighten your leg. Stretch out through your right heel. Good job. Set it down. And take your time. Really firm this leg like a tree root. Steady your gaze. And you want to reach up too. That helps you balance. And then pick up the left leg. Spread the toes. Yeah, that's it. You can stay right here. This is a nice stretch here, or stretch out through your left heel. Draw your shoulders back. And then lower that leg. Set it down. Cross your right leg over your left. Squeeze your hips together. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Push through your legs. And then reach up through your spine and bend your spine to the right. Pick up your left arm and reach over to the left. Come on up. And reach up again and then bend to the right. As you squeeze your inner thighs together. Optionally, take your right arm up and over. Come on up. Unwrap yourself that way and rewrap yourself the other way. Squeeze your hips together, squeeze your inner thighs together. And then reach up, bend to your right, and reach your left arm up and over. You can press your left hips out. Your right hip compresses a little bit, giving it juice. The left hip gets a different kind of juice. Come on up, and we'll go the other way. Press your right hip out, and bend, and reach. You gotta bend so we don't break. With the constant changes in our lives, right? Something's always changing, something's happening. Come on up and lower your arm down. Very good. Unwrap your arms, your legs. Take a wide stance. And you can get your block again and put your block down right in front of you, underneath your shoulders. So you take a wide stance, turn your toes to face each other a little bit. So you're just a teeny bit pigeon-toed. Rest your hands down on your block with your spine nice and long. And now shift your weight over to the right. You feel your inner hip, inner adductor opening on your left leg. And then shift over to the right. Squeeze your kneecaps. Shift back over the other side. Go back over to the other side. Breathing through your nostril, slowly. Back over to the other side. Shift your weight over your left leg, left hip out. Your inner right thigh gets a nice activation. Last time, over to the right. Press your weight over to the right leg, more left, right hip out. Come through center. And then tack your thighs back Reach your spine long as you can. Inner thighs back, outer hips back. Good. Now bend your elbows. Exhale, let your head come down. Take your hands and your block back so that they're in line with your toes, your block or your hands. Push the block down into the earth. Lift up your kneecaps. And now again, with yourself closer, your torso closer to your legs, shift your weight a little side to side. Either side you want. Just go nice and slow, moving with your breath. Your knees can be slightly bent if that feels more appropriate. Our hamstrings get so tight that they're actually weak. Seems like they're strong, but they can be weak because they get so strong they can snap or break. The connective tissue, well, this is helping. The connective tissue, the ligaments, the fascia, the tendons. Good job. Set the block to the side. Spin your feet to the front of your mat and step yourself back for down dog. Take your belly button up to the ceiling. Inhale to plank pose. Push the floor away. Lift your belly button up. You can always come to your knees, or you can always come to your knees and then lift them up, then rest them down. Just push the floor away. Stretch out through your heels. Lift your inner thighs up. Are you breathing? This is the question. Bend your elbows in, slowly come all the way down to your mat. Stretch your legs way back. Come on up to your forearms. Bring your left forearm parallel with the front of your mat. And bend your right leg. Spread your right toes. Reach long with your right arm. And then reach back, hitchhike back, thumb up, and see if you can get a hold of that foot. Now that's the similar thing. If you're bending your leg and you can't reach your foot, that's fine, but you're going to really activate your hamstring. So once you get a hold of your foot, it moves, the stretch moves to the quadriceps. Turn your torso back to the front. Push your foot away from you. Lift your heart up. And slowly release that. Bring your right arm parallel with the front of your mat. Bend your left leg, spread your left toes, and reach long, long, long. And then back, reach back, see if you can get a hold of the inside of your foot. Press your hand into your foot into your hand. Feel all those muscles getting activated. In your quadriceps, in your hamstrings. Oh, yeah. And release. Back to the first side. Prop yourself up with your left arm. Bend your right leg. Reach long through your torso and reach back. Push your foot away. Make yourself like a bow by lifting your chest up, shoulders back. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to experiment and discover about your quadriceps, you can start taking your heel towards your outer hip. See where it goes. Everybody's different. Some people are born with more open hamstrings, more open quadriceps, more open hips, more open shoulders. Just love yourself wherever you are. Enjoy your breath. and release. Thank goodness you found your stiff spot. Go to the other side. Bend your left leg. Reach out, reach back. First of all, just activate the muscles by pushing your foot away from your chest into your hand. Lifting your chest up. And then slowly, if you'd like, start taking your heel toward your outer hip. Little by little. And release. All right, let's just play. We're playing here, right? We're celebrating and playing in our bodies, exploring. Lay on down. Then both legs. Spread your toes. Take your knees parallel in case they flailed out just then. Reach back. See if you can get a hold of the tops of your feet. Press your knees down. Lift your groins up. Slide your knees back, straight back. Press your pelvis down. Lift your chest up. Lift your heart up for bow pose. Knees must be parallel behind you to have a healthy back, to have a healthy pose. If you think they're flailing, they're coming out apart, readjust. Now for world health, lift up higher. For world peace, higher, 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 higher. Slowly come down. Turn your head to the side, release, relax, and feel. One more time. Bend both legs, reach back. Spread your toes, get a hold of your ankles for the tops of your feet. And then press your knees down so you're going to lift up like a little inchworm. And then slide them straight back and then lift up your inner thighs, lift up your chest, your head, your heart, corners of your mouth. On your next inhale, we will all go up as a community together, higher. And then hold the pose, but come down a little. Hold the pose. And then in unison, let's all inhale back up as high as we can go. High, high. Beautiful. Slowly, slowly come down. Turn your head to the other side and feel the life force pulsing through you. Slide your hands alongside your chest. Tuck your toes, come on up to your knees, and then have a seat. Oh, it feels so good for the quadriceps, the hamstrings and hips. Please sit down on the edge of your yoga blanket or a big beach towel or something equal like that, and take both legs straight out in front of you. Go like this so you can see me. There we go. And then do your thing. Get the glute muscles back and apart so your hips are broad as can be. Spread your toes and cross your right thigh over your left thigh. And so your right foot comes right along the outside of your left thigh. Hold on to your knees and lengthen. Now you can stay here and your right thigh is rooting down into your quadricep muscle, which is good. And then that's all rooting down into your hamstring, which is also good. So you can stay upright or you can hinge out and get it a little bit of a deeper stretch. You can hold onto your calf, your ankle, or your foot. Our breath will inform us about how far to take poses. So we always can progress our yoga practice safely with fun and enjoyment. Come on up. Good. Next side. Take your right leg out. And cross your left thigh over. Lengthen. Maybe you even need to get some more space in your hips as that left leg's grounding down on the right leg. Yep. And you can hold on here, calf, ankle, or toes. Either one, yogi's choice. Come on up. Excellent. And then shake your legs out. Let's take an outer hip rotation. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press your feet together. Draw your lower back in and up. Stay upright or start lengthening your spine over your feet. Then you can have your hands anywhere you'd like on your feet. Maybe you want to put your hands on your toes if your toes are cold. Warm them up. So important to keep our hips mobile, flexible, so we can navigate through our lives with ease. Come on up. Take your hands to the outside of your knees and bring your legs up. Okay. And then lay down. You can roll out your blanket and roll down on your blanket if you'd like. I think I'll do that. Just make your back a little softer, your landing pad. And we'll do a nice spinal twist, hip stretch before Shavasana. Bend both legs. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. We've done this before. Yep. And push through your left foot, scoop your hips a little to the right, about 5 or 6 inches. Drape your knees down to the left. Put your left hand on your right hip and encourage it to go away from the right shoulder. Then you can stretch your right arm out, look over to the right. Bring your arm down, legs up. And uncross and recross. Scoot your hips a little to the left and drape your knees down to the right. And then right hand on your left hip and coax it away lovingly from your left shoulder. Left arm back up, knees back up, uncross. And then pick up both of your legs, your shins, and just give yourself a nice little lower back massage. Make big sacrum circles. Go the other way. Squeeze your knees into your chest, spread your toes, hug your shins, lift up your chest, lift up your head, squeeze yourself as tight as you can. Squeeze, contract all your muscles, contract, contract, contract. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And exhale, release. Let your legs fall out and open. Let your arms fall out to the side, palms up. Close your eyes. Rest your awareness in the flow of your breath. If you have a cloth to cover your eyes, you can do that. Let your body feel heavy, sinking down into your mat. No physical effort. It's a calm awareness of your breath. Scan your body for any tightness or holding. Use your exhale to let it go. Take a couple more longer, fuller breaths. Full exhales. On your exhale, release all the air you can out of your lungs. Bend one leg, set your foot down, then the other. Roll to your side, pause. Bring yourself up to seated. From the love in my heart to the love in your hearts. Namaste.